Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you a deck tech for another Keepy Modern Janky deck. This one is a Gruul Ponza build that has gotten some new life thanks to some new cards and an ever-evolving metagame. So, if you're unfamiliar with the Ponza archetype, it is any deck in Modern that is looking to destroy your opponent's lands. With that in mind, we're playing the typical Stone Rain, Molten Rain package that's been in Modern for a while, and we're playing two new, exciting cards, one new, one sort of oldish new, that also attack our opponent's resources. The first is Magmatic Hellkite from Dragonstorm Tarkir, 4 mana 4/5 that destroys a non-basic land, and our opponent can go get a basic, comes into the battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it. And then Obsidian Charmaw, which is, I called it an oldish new card for Modern Horizons 2 that I haven't had a chance to play, or haven't gotten around to playing, that can come down as early as turn 3 if our opponent's playing a lot of lands that tap for colorless, like happen Eldrazi perhaps, or Affinity, both of which are very popular in the format right now. It destroys that non-basic land and our opponent gets nothing out of it. So that's the motivation, the inspiration for this deck is the Magmatic Hellkite pretty much, and then getting to play Charmaw, as well as the metagame being so we're relying on Eldrazi, colorless lands, big mana decks, affinity, colorless lands, greedy mana bases. So what we're looking to do is cast a turn 1 Arbor Elf or Utopia Sprawl, and a turn 2 land destruction spell, whether it be Stone Rain or Molten Rain, or Magmatic Hellkite as early as turn 2 as well. Ragavan, one of the best 1-drops in Modern. Hopefully we'll dodge Orcish Bowmasters, which isn't seen as much play these days. If we don't have a ramp spell, instead have a Ragavan and get a hidden on turn 2, we'll get the treasure token and be able to cast the Molten Rain or Stone Rain. And that's where this deck wants to be at. We want to be able to blow up an opponent's land on turn 2, and then on turn 3, and on turn 4. And ideally, by the time we're getting to turns 3 and 4, we're blowing up their lands with dragons, which will then put a clock on our opponent. And that's what makes, I think, this deck much more viable than some of the Ponza decks in the past in Modern. We have the typical early land game destruction with Stone Rain and Molten Rain, but now we have land destruction attached to evasive bodies that can really threaten our opponent's life total and close out a game rapidly. So I'm really excited about that, and they're dragons. So I love dragons, and that's really the main reason I really want to play this deck. Otherwise, we have Lightning Bolt, Wrenn and 6 to recur some of our fetch lands, and Field of Ruin to also attack our opponent's mana base. Fable of the Mirrorbreaker kind of ties the room together. And the sideboard, Blood Moon probably will get cut. I'm not sure it's necessary. It feels a little bit like overkill. A lot of the Ponza decks of old would play this in the main deck. I think I'll probably make room for something else. But Brotherhood's End to fight against go-wide strategies and Affinity. Glorybringer because it's my favorite dragon. One of my favorite dragons. Really powerful. I can see us bringing this in, taking out some of our land destruction after game 1 when our opponent is ready for it and maybe changes their main deck or keeps a land heavy hand, and knowing that we're looking to blow up their lands, we'll take out some of those land destruction spells and bring in another hasty threat that can close out a game quickly. So we're kind of shifting our strategy a little bit. Endurance to hate against Graveyard, and Force of Vigor because sometimes you just need instant speed removal against all those artifacts out there. Also hates on enchantments. Alright, so that's my Gruul Ponza deck with Magmatic Hellkite and Obsidian Charmaw in Modern. What do you think? Is it viable? Is it fun? How hateful would you call this deck? I've already played a few matches. I played one of those egg decks. That milled me very slowly. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, that one is more hateful than this one. But let me know, and let me know what you think of the deck. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. Catch y'all on the next one.